So I came into the bathroom the other day and I turned the fan on for the vent, and that seemed to be working fine, and then I went to turn it off and nothing. So if you push real hard, you might get it to go off. Now, plastic is an excellent thing if we're going to be using it as a material for something that is going to last forever, but it's not really useful to have it in our bloodstream in the form of microplastics. So I took this off and discovered that the shaft has cracked. Now this is an excellent application of plastic because it's not like I replace my knobs every day like you replace, say, your Stanley thermos bottles. But in this particular case, I would like to preserve this knob, so let's see what we can do to have our first join of the mending movement. Now, in considering how to effect this repair, I've considered some plastic cement. But in the past, this has not proven to be a very strong option, plus it said it's for models, and this is the real thing. I also considered a two-part epoxy, something like GB Weld. This would be good, but I'm concerned about how to keep the crack closed so that we have a nice tight fit when we get the repair finished. This also seems like a little bit of overkill, and also it would take way too long to dry, which finally had me land on this intermediate option. What if I could find a spring that has the right internal diameter that would keep the crack compressed and the spring would be strong enough to resist any opening forces in the future? Let's try it and see. Using the micrometer, we see that the outside diameter of the knob is just about 0.3 inches. So now we need to find a spring that will match that measurement. This one here was an early candidate because it seemed to slip over the shaft fairly nicely, but I don't like the open coil arrangement. I feel like I would like to have a denser arrangement of metal around the plastic shaft to support it better. Now this spring has been abused in the past because you can see it's exceeded its ability to stretch and been kind of deformed, and it's fairly close to our 0.3 inches that we're looking for. We will go ahead and cut off the loops of both ends of this spring and see if we can get one of the ends over the shaft of our knob. Now, spring steel is a fairly hard steel to enable it to remember its shape. So that means when you cut it, you really better protect your eyes. I don't have the correct nippers that would probably be hard enough for this, so we'll go ahead and sacrifice a pair of Harbor Freight nippers that I only use on my MIG wire feed. Seems like it's going to do the trick. Well, that looks like that's going to do it. One of the other criteria that I had is I didn't want to use glues or something that would cause this to bind onto the shaft of the timer switch, so this would allow it to be removed. We may have defeated the gods of commerce. One $19 switch saved from the dump, one piece of plastic that should be around for future generations. Well, that looks like that's a fix. One small step for landfills, one giant step for dry bathrooms after warm showers. Looks like we have a technological fix for a physical problem. Now the sociological one will be, can I keep my little kids from playing with the knob and losing it? Until next time, happy repairing.